Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about our first quarter, let you guys know how it went, what we got through, what we've been implementing, what we've been trying to change. So let's go ahead and jump right in. About you guys, but usually before the year starts we sit down and try to figure out what we want for this next school year or the school year that's coming up. We talk about goals, we talk about things that we want to do more of, we talk about things that we want to do less of. So us as a family, we just discuss it and kind of decide on what our new school year is going to look like, or at least what we want it to look like. Now, if you're new to my channel, I homeschool with my sister and our 4 kids. I have 2 kids, a daughter and a son, 5th grade in kindergarten, and she has 2 daughters. One is in 9th grade and one is in 4th grade. So we do school together. So like I said, we get together, we figure out what we want for our year. And this year, one of our things is that we really wanted to start doing more activities. And I'm not talking about just, physical activities, but just getting out there, being around more people, doing more things. So this year, what we've done is some of our kids are in different activities. So the 3 girls are actually in horseback riding. They have been taking lessons on learning how to care for the horses, learning how to ride the horses. My daughter's absolutely loving it. I don't have my son in it. He's not quite there yet. I want him to be able to maybe listen a little bit more, do as he's told, and pay attention. So I don't feel like he's quite there yet. And I'll see if that's something that he wants to do when he's a little bit older. But that's something that the 3 girls are into. They go on Wednesdays and they're just loving it. So something that my son is doing is piano lessons. He takes piano lessons every Monday. He's loving it. He's been doing it for, I would say, about 2 months maybe now. My 4th grade niece is actually doing it as well. She's been doing it a little bit over a year and they've really been loving it. My son comes home, he enjoys practicing on our keyboard, and so that's something that I have him doing as well. Something that the girls are also doing together is archery. So they do it on Saturdays, on the weekends, and we're deciding if we want them to join different teams or if they're just going to practice and do some lessons. But you guys, if you've never tried archery, they are absolutely loving it. So that's something that we have them involved in as well. Again, my son's not in that. I want him to be kind of where he's listening a little bit more and paying attention to more detail, because horseback riding and archery are definitely not the safest. You really have to know your limits. You have to know the rules and really abide by them. So I just want him to be a little bit older. Now I am kind of going back and forth about having him maybe in swimming or something like that. But let me know down below what type of activities your kiddos are doing, what you're doing to get them out there around other kids, around other people. This is something that I kind of struggled with getting back into, and on some days I'm kind of like, oh, I don't really want to do it. But once we do it, it feels so nice, you guys, to actually get out there and be doing things again. So let me know down in the comments what that has been like for you guys. Has it been a struggle? Has it been easy? I used to be somebody who liked to be out doing things, and then when everything happened, I don't know, it kind of made you kind of like just sheltered. You just wanted to be in the house, and the way of the world is kind of out of control and crazy. But I don't want that to hold us back from enjoying our life here that, God has granted us, that God has blessed us with. So we are trying to enjoy it. We are trying to have the kids live out their childhoods and with great memories and things to hold on to as they grow. What else are we doing for activities? Something else, I'll actually talk about that in a minute, because what I wanted to get into is our scheduling next. And don't mind me if I look down at my paper. It's just because I have notes written, because I tend to either get sidetracked or I forget what I'm going to talk about. So one of them is scheduling. I'm not going to get into detail with scheduling, but like I said, there's 2 families that homeschool together, myself and my sister. And so our scheduling doesn't meet up perfectly this year. So we school together Mondays and Tuesdays, and then Thursdays and Fridays. So we are not doing school together on Wednesday. My sister actually has my 9th grade niece in some classes, Spanish class, and I think like a journalism class that she's actually really enjoying. So she does that outside of our homes. And so Wednesdays we kind of break apart. She does school with them and I do school with my kids. Usually those are the days that we take to do doctor's appointments, dentist appointments. I take the puppy in for shots, things like that, things that we can do without each other, you know what I mean? So that's basically what we have for Wednesdays. Also Wednesdays is our horseback riding days and we do them separate as well. So that day we go to horseback riding and then we come back and we have to start school then. So our scheduling on Wednesdays are usually all over the place. Mondays and Tuesdays are pretty similar. So then Thursdays we do school together as well. And you guys, honestly, not every day looks the same for us, even though our scheduling is pretty much the same as far as classes that they're doing. Sometimes the kids like to switch them up. We do try to keep them kind of on a schedule as far as what classes in what order, just because it helps us with managing all the kids together with all of their classes. And then Fridays, this is another activity that I wanted to tell you about, is we have the kids in like a group for nature walks, hiking, nature journaling. It's like just a little nature group. It's really cool. This is our first year doing it. So it's been really, really cool. We went on all different types of hikes. We did journaling, nature journaling. We did painting and stuff like that as we were at different places. We had just really fun times with that group. It was really nice. So also on Friday, so after we do our nature walks, our day really just depends on how much work the kids have for that day from the week. So we do group Bible, which we've done since last year. We've really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do that this year, but I worked some things out so that I could teach all of the kids, and that has been wonderful. I love group Bible. I love doing it with all of us together. And that's pretty much it. So we have watched a few movies and we've done some documentaries on Friday. So Fridays are kind of chill, but just depending on what the kids have for that day, it kind of depends on how long our day is. So honestly, every day is different, you guys. So that's basically how our scheduling goes. Is your homeschool the same? Do you guys usually have days that look very similar to each other, or is it kind of just like one day looks completely different from the other? Our scheduling, like I said, is pretty similar, but like our time scheduling, like our time frames vary. They just depend. Jumping into our science. So last year we planned on doing all the good and the beautiful, and I think I had 4 different units to get through. We only got through 3 of them. So this year for the first quarter, we just got through mammals, and that was a really cool unit. I want to say that that was my favorite. We didn't really add anything into it. We did a lesson per day, so it was a pretty full lesson. It took about 45 minutes to an hour with the experiments and with the activities. We do science Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Wednesdays we don't do it together, and Fridays we don't do it together. So science is just a 3-day-a-week subject that we do. I have been leading the science class, and I've been doing it, or we've been doing it, with family that lives in another state. So I have a niece and a nephew in another state that we FaceTime and we do science together. So that has been so much fun, having them on FaceTime with us and being able to enjoy school with them. It's just been really cool because we don't get to see them very often, and it just makes it really nice. So we've really enjoyed that. So we got through mammals. We're 2 weeks into our weather unit. Our weather unit is this here. I did this workbook to go along with this book here. So this is something that we are working on now. This is my teacher key, but we're about 2 weeks into this. So we will finish this in the next few weeks. But that's basically what we did for science for first quarter. We finished our The Good and the Beautiful Mammals, and we've been doing it with other cousins from a different state, which has been really cool. Okay, so moving on from science, you guys, let me just see here. So with my daughter, I've been working through My Father's World. She is in 5th grade, and so we do My Father's World 3 days a week. We do it Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. It just depends. We actually have been enjoying My Father's World. I have changed some things. I've tweaked some things to make it work with our homeschool. So we purchased basically the geography history part and the Bible part. So I've been implementing some of that Bible stuff into our daily Bible and also into our group Bible. So we've really been loving that. But I have definitely been changing things around to make it work for us and our homeschool. So with our history, we went ahead and we finished off our Star Spangled Story. I was working through that with my 5th grade daughter and my 4th grade niece. We finally finished it, you guys. We did 3 unit studies and a couple lessons, like a few lessons. It took us about 2 months to get through the rest of it. Our unit studies that we did was Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, and we did Hidden Figures. So we went ahead and we worked through those 3 unit studies. They were really awesome, you guys. We watched documentaries, we watched the Hidden Figures movie. It was really great to go through together. Now that we finished, I went ahead and started America the Beautiful with my 5th grade daughter, and my sister is actually doing heritage studies with my 4th grade niece. So we are doing history separate. And so the only thing we are really doing together is science this year and our group Bible. My niece, she doesn't have history this year. My 9th grade niece does not have history this year for 9th grade. So we don't do that with her either. Now, my son, for all of his classes, we are using Becca's curriculum for K-5, and it is video led. And I'm going to do a separate video for him and just kind of tell you guys what we've been doing to make things work, and not just curriculum based, but how I've been doing things to help us get through homeschooling together. This last year I did school him. He was in pre-K and it was very laid back. This year for kindergarten has been so much more structured, and it's been a little bit of a challenge and a change. I wouldn't say challenge. He's actually doing really well, but it's a really large change for him. So there's been a lot of changes in that way for him, it being more structured. So I did want to do a video on that. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to get around to that, but I do want to do one on things that we've been doing to help him out, to help us out, and stuff like that for a kindergartner. Let me think. So the 2 girls, 4th and 5th graders, they are doing Saxon. My daughter's actually loving it. She really enjoys math, but we've been using Nicole the Math Lady, and we really enjoy it. It's been showing her and teaching her really well. She's following along. There have been a couple of adjustments on not knowing some of the things because we came from teaching textbooks. So we did notice a little gap in a couple things that she hadn't quite learned. I went ahead and put her in the 6-5 book, only because the 4-5 was, I mean, most of the things she knew, pretty much all of it. So I didn't want to put her in something that she knew everything and then just was like reviewing. So I knew moving her to 6-5, there may be a couple things that she wasn't taught in teaching textbooks. So I have noticed a little bit of that, but we've just been working through it. It's been working out well. My niece is actually enjoying it. She doesn't really care for math too much. So, I mean, honestly, I don't think she really is going to find a math that she truly loves just because it's not one of her favorite subjects, but she does enjoy it. She really enjoys Nicole the Math Lady. And so Saxon has definitely been a good change for us. We are enjoying it. I'm trying to think what else. All of our language-based curriculum is through Becca, as well as for my freshman niece. She has been doing all of Becca's curriculum, except for she's been working through biology through master books. And that has been working out well for her. She's really enjoying master books, actually. She hasn't started the logic yet. She'll be doing that for 2nd quarter for one of her electives. So I will let you guys know about that when we come to that time. But all of the language English-based Becca has been going really well. It's language. My daughter enjoys language, not as much as math, but you know, I would say it takes a little bit of time to get through all of their language, and I have done some changes with their writing, and I'm I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much it. I've kind of done some little changes here and there with the writing portion of it. But other than that, she's still working through the spelling. It's very cut and dry traditional spelling. You're given a list of spelling words, a list of vocabulary words, and you have to learn them. So she works through that through the week. So, I mean, they're going to be using this throughout the year. So there's no end to it until we're at the end of the year. So that's basically all I have for a catch up on our first quarter for language, because those are things that they'll be using. Okay, so moving on from scheduling, I want to kind of step into behavior. So during the school day, now that we have a kindergartner, we really have to be on top of everyone, like paying attention and doing what they're supposed to be told to do and just following directions. So we sat back, and with my son, he's very visual. And so my sister actually thought of this idea, and I just created them. Very easy to create on a computer, you guys. But we have this smiley face system. So basically, if you've been around my channel, you know that we like to give the kids incentives. So they get incentives if they've been good throughout the day. We will give them a little like certificate. Let me show you a couple of them that I made. I don't have very many here because I've been handing them out, but they just say different things on them. So this one says, wow. We have smart as can be. We have you can do it. Orange, you perfect. We have brilliant. And we have great reading. So just depending on what they're doing well, how they're acting, we will walk around and just give them a little card on their desk. There are more of these. I don't have all of them here because they're handed out, like I said, but we'll just hand them out to them while they're doing work if they're doing well. So basically what happens is if they've done really well through a day, they'll usually get 2 of these. And at the end of the week or after a couple weeks, they'll want to shop at the school store, and they'll be able to purchase things from our school store with their tickets. So they turn each one of these in for $1. So each ticket is $1, and then we cash it out with pretend money, and then they shop at the store. Everything has prices on them and everything. So they really enjoy doing that. So we wanted to kind of piece something together to make them visually see if they're losing a ticket or an incentive card. So basically what I did is I did a green happy face, a yellow upset face or sad face, and then a red upset face, or however you guys want to say. This could be upset and this could be sad. I think this one's more upset and this is sad, right? So basically we start them off with a green happy face, and on the back I've just put Velcro, and I've put a little dot Velcro on my wall above their desk so they can actually see their smiley face. So if we have to give them a couple warnings, we will tell them you're gonna lose your green smiley face. That usually checks them because they know if they lose their green smiley face, they lose both of their incentive cards. So once they get a yellow face, they don't have any more cards for the day. Now if we have to warn them again, this gets taken away and they get their red, really sad face. And that just means that they don't get electronics for the day, the week, however you guys want to implement it, however you guys like allow your kids electronics. But I know that that's one of the things my kids hate to lose is electronics. So before we would just give the kids warnings and they weren't getting this with the older kids, but now that my son, he's only in kindergarten, so visually seeing this really upsets him. And it's kind of sad, and it sounds kind of sad, but I want him to understand that bad behavior does not get him anything or anywhere. I really just wanted to have something that he can visually see, all the kids can see, just so that it kind of helps them stay on track and to know what they can lose if they don't listen. So this is something that we have implemented this year, and it's actually been working really well. I think it's all about finding what works for your kids and what doesn't, and then trying to kind of work around that and figure out different ways to help them along the way. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. So is there anything in your guys' homeschool that you guys do to implement behavior, to help control the behavioral issues that come along with homeschooling? Because I know it's kind of tough sometimes. You know, you're home with your kids all the time as their mother, as their teacher, and I know it gets kind of tough sometimes. So we just try to find different ways to help them behave better. It's been a challenge, you know, but we're getting there. We have our good days and bad days. But this quarter, it went pretty well. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. All right, be safe, be blessed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
What if the world had more of your smile? What if the wind could spread your love? What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars,